y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello. Whoa, feels like an echo. Hi. Hi. How are you all? What's popping? I don't have music. Hello. Hi. I'm not showing us live, am I? There we go. Hi. Cat. Can you hear me okay? I am echoing. Or it's just in my head. How are you doing, Cat? How is it going? Let me move the chat over here so I can see what's popping. How are you, friend? Have I seen you this year? I don't think I've seen you this year. Happy New Year. Zanita is in his house. Hi, friend. What's popping? What's popping? I was trying to figure out how to... What is this, baby? How you all doing? How are you all doing? Here we are. Come on, stay. I still have to do these shenanigans here. There we go. Alright, let's move you up a bit. You have seen me this year? Oh no, what happened? I mean, if only if you feel comfortable talking about it. Hello, Maria. Hey, Juby. Let's see if we got a few friends on Twitch. I don't see. Oh, we have me on Twitch. I don't even know what it looks like on YouTube. Wait a minute. April! April and Nikki. Y'all are too sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Audrey. Jen M5. Hi, friend. Zanita, I am not too bad. I'm not too bad. Today is exactly... Nikki's here too. Love it. Thank you. I'm not too bad. Hey, Candy. How you doing? I'm trying to find my, what you call it. I'm not doing any literary lippies. Sorry, Zora. I think I have the same. Hey, Eagle. All is well. I don't know if any of you all are down in Southern California or know people in Southern California, but those fires are wild. It's so funny. There are people that I know who live down there, but I'd forgotten that they live down there. And so a few of them were posting about sort of escaping and having to flee with their pets and not really having enough time. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'd forgotten that this person lived there. And I just felt like such a cad. I felt like such a heel. But I think quite a few of them are doing well, and so they moved. It keeps saying that I shared the live. I did not share the live. This is so creepy. Did somebody share the live? Oh, you only got the notification on Insta. That's amazing. Crystal, how are you? How are you? It's been a while. It's been a while. Hey, there are three people. Nikki, are you on Twitch as well? I'm everywhere, people, and I'm creeping myself out. Is anybody on YouTube? I don't even know what it looks like on YouTube. Do I want to know what it looks like on YouTube? I don't know. Um, but today, oh, Nikki, thank you. Crystal, I'm not too bad. Today is exactly 1 year since I lost my job. So I think I've been walking around a little bit angry and like snapping at my family, which is not cool. The toddler was being a teenage toddler, as they all are. They don't want to wake up from bed, has opinions and everything, does not want to go to bed, but also wants to snuggle. I'm just like, make up your mind. Are you a teenager or a toddler at this moment, And just getting on my last nerve, snapped at my hubby. The only one I didn't snap at was my teenager. But he was very well aware, and he just came and gave me a preemptive hug. I told him, do you think I'm easy? I was helping him install something on his computer, and I said, do you think I'm easy? He's just gonna give me a hug. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek too, and he's like, I'm serious, Mom, let me know, do you want me to take the toddler so you could take a nap? So he could read my moods pretty well. He was like, I'm grumpy. Anyway, I don't know if it's showing, but I have a YouTube subscriber goal. I don't think it's showing on TikTok or Instagram, but I'm trying to hit, I don't even know what my goal is. I think it's 100, no, 200, 300. I don't know. I'm trying to hit like 300 subscribers on YouTube. So if you do frequent the tube, please follow me on there as well. I had a wonderful idea today that we were talking about on the live yesterday, to try and like compile all the insults from Jane Austen's novels and like make shorts with them. And so I put it in ChatGPT, and it helped me with like a really great format. But the problem is, to share that video, I have to actually like record extra stuff on top of just chopping up the snippet from the live. And I was like, oh, the delay is back. The delay, I thought I just fixed it. Okay, hold on. It feels like a full minute behind. Friends, I might have to do it. Let's see. I put it up to 800 or so. Now, it's more than a minute behind. How is it looking for you all? Hey, Maria. Was it Mariah? Beaded Glamour. Hi. Thank you for the follow. We have 10 people in here. Your goal today is to get as many people in here as you can, and to like the live and share. That's your goal. But also to relax and enjoy. Maria, is this sounding okay? Yeah? It's not really lagging? Because when I downloaded the recording from yesterday, the lag was so bad. And so I actually took a short snippet and I extracted the audio from the recording and then like shifted it. I should have checked how many seconds I had to shift it, because that would probably be the amount of time I need to do the offset. Lady D reads. Oh, welcome. Well, keeping us on our toes with your other account. Well, I'm glad that you're back. Alrighty, my loves. Let's just get to it until I can figure out how to do music, right? Yesterday we got some, I was gonna name the series God Tier Classic Insults, but ChatGPT had its own ideas. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I was gonna put on the chat here, but I think only the TikTok crew can see it. I'll find it and read a handful out to you all, and y'all can throw in the chat wherever you are what you think. What do you think about the name of the series? Because I was cracking up quite a bit when I saw them. If I can find, I have a million windows. Most of my windows are because I was doing job searches today. Today I spent a lot of time searching for and applying to jobs. But just give me a hot second. Just not a long second, just a hot one. Let's see. Okay. Here are some that I really liked. So, here are the example names of the series. The Art of the Burn. That's one. Classic Sass. We have Timeless Takedowns. This is my favorite, I think. Literary Shade. And then Austen Level Insults. And I said, give me more. And then the on-screen hook that ChatGPT recommended was Shade, but make it classic. I'm like, oh yes. And then When Words Wound with Elegance, I'm like, that's too much. Cooking Blue High. Oh, was it Oh King Blue? And then I said, give me a few more. And it went with, let's see, The Literary Burn Book. I was like, meh. And it said Classic Snark. Yeah. Sharp Tongues, Timeless Tales. And it said, From Page to Shade. And it was like, Words That Wound, or The Subtle Art of Scorn. But I like Literary Shade. I like From Page to Shade. It was like classic, yeah. It was, yeah. Literary Shade, right? But I was gonna call it God tier classic burns. Obviously, marketing is not my strong point. Okay. Well, let's get to Harriet and no, not Harriet. To Emma and her shenanigans. Anything with shade, I know. I want to read let's see. The video script it gave me was opening scene, dramatic music, elegant backdrop. You appear on screen holding a copy of Emma with a playful, knowing smile. I guess I have to go borrow Emma from the library, right? Or just print my image and hold it up. It said voiceover or on-screen text. When Mr. Knightley decided to serve Emma a reality check with a side of sass, right? And then it cuts to me reading the line, better be without sense than misapply it as you do. And then I pause for effect. Then, with a playful smirk, I say, ouch, Sense and Sensibility? Mr. Knightley said, not today. And then the closing scene would say, or the on-screen text would be, what's the best insult you've ever read in a classic? Comment below and join the Late Night Book Club for more timeless takedowns. No, oh yeah, no, I've never read Emma, so just hang out with us. We're gonna make it through the whole book. If you're a late night bird, come with us because we're gonna read this every night and we're gonna finish it. So anyway, let's get started. Let's go. Donna, are you here? I know Maria is here, but I don't know if Alyssa is gonna make it tonight. Crafty Creative Designs, and Harvey just joined. Okay. Instead of tea, I filled my travel mug with the stickers is making noise. This thing picks up everything. Okay, here we go. I filled it with ice because I was drinking soda earlier today, and so it still has ice in there. And for some reason, I feel bad Hey, Blue, I feel bad throwing the ice out, so I'm just gonna keep it and fill it with water and drink it till it melts. I know, sentimental about ice, but what are you gonna do? Let me check in on our friends on the other platforms. Christelle! What? My friend Christelle joined, but I think she's gone. I think she's gone. Alrighty. My darlings, what are you all drinking? Please put it in the chat. I want to see we're all drinking water or something more fun. Yeah? If you're new here, sorry, my name is Denise. And I am an up and coming audiobook narrator, knock on wood. And we are reading from Jane Austen's Emma. We are on chapter 9. A glass of red wine. Stop it, Crafty. You just elevating us right here. Melissa, how you doing? Maria on the water cake. Hey, we have 3 water. Water. This is also ice water. Well, water is winning today, friends. T got the D. Water. Trying to be good. Water is amazing. Listen, I can chug water. I love me some water. I can't tell you how many bottles of water and travel mugs and stuff. I bought this one. My husband was trying to steal it, so I had to get him his own. So he has a blue that matches this. Hey Tia, welcome. Anyway, my loves, I hope you can hear me okay. Throw some responses in the chat. When I start reading, I don't usually pause to talk unless there's a really nice spot. And so if you come in and I don't say anything, don't feel bad. Just start chatting. We'll a lot of the people who are here like to leave little quips and asides in the chat, and it's wonderful. You have white wine. Ooh. I would like a little snifter of whiskey, but if I drink the whiskey, I probably can't read to all y'all. So let's do this. So tired. Oh, my darling goober. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. Madame Sandman. Maybe that's my new name. Madame Sandman. I love it. All right, here we go. Let us read Emma by Jane Austen, Chapter 9. Mr. Knightley might quarrel with her, but Emma could not quarrel with herself. He was so much displeased that it was longer than usual before he came to Hartfield again. And when they did meet, his grave looks showed that she was not forgiven. She was sorry, but could not repent. On the contrary, her plans and proceedings were more and more justified and endeared to her by the general appearances of the next few days. The picture, elegantly framed, came safely to hand soon after Mr. Elton's return, and being hung over the mantelpiece of the common sitting-room, he got up to look at it, and sighed out his half-sentences of admiration just as he ought. And as for Harriet's feelings, they were visibly forming themselves into as strong and steady an attachment as her youth and sort of mind admitted. Emma was soon perfectly satisfied of Mr. Martin's being no otherwise remembered than as he furnished a contrast with Mr. Elton of the utmost advantage to the latter. Her views of improving her little friend's mind by a great deal of useful reading and conversation had never yet led to more than a few first chapters, and the intention of going on tomorrow. It was much easier to chat than to study, much pleasanter to let her imagination range and work at Harriet's fortune than to be laboring to enlarge her comprehension or exercise it on sober facts. And the only literary pursuit which engaged Harriet at present, the only mental provision she was making for the evening of life, was the collecting and transcribing all the riddles of every sort that she could meet with into a thin quarto of hot-pressed paper made up by her friend and ornamented with ciphers and trophies. In this age of literature, such collections on a very grand scale are not uncommon. Miss Nash, head teacher at Mrs. Goddard's, had written out at least 300, and Harriet, who had taken the first hint of it from her, hoped, with Miss Woodhouse's help, to get a great many more. Emma assisted with her invention, memory, and taste, and as Harriet wrote a very pretty hand, it was likely to be an arrangement of the first order, in form as well as quantity. Mr. Woodhouse was almost as much interested in the business as the girls, and tried very often to recollect something worth their putting in. So many clever riddles as there used to be when he was young. He wondered he could not remember them, but he hoped he should in time. And it always ended in Kitty, a fair but frozen maid. His good friend Perry, too, whom he had spoken to on the subject, did not at present recollect anything of the riddle kind. But he had desired Perry to be upon the watch, and as he went about so much, something he thought might come from that quarter. It was by no means his daughter's wish that the intellect of Highbury in general should be put under requisition. Mr. Elton was the only one whose assistance she asked. He was invited to contribute any really good enigmas, charades, or conundrums that he might recollect, and she had the pleasure of seeing him most intently at work with his recollections, and at the same time, as she could perceive, most earnestly careful that nothing ungallant, nothing that did not breathe a compliment to the sex should pass his lips. They owed to him their 2 or 3 politest puzzles, and the joy and exultation with which at last he recalled, and rather sentimentally recited that well-known charade. My first doth affliction denote, which my second is destined to feel, and my whole is the best antidote, that affliction to soften and heal. Made her quite sorry to acknowledge that they had transcribed it some pages ago already. Why will not you write one yourself for us, Mr. Elton? Said she. That is the only security for its freshness, and nothing could be easier to you. Oh, no, he had never written, hardly ever, anything of the kind in his life, the stupidest fellow. He was afraid not even Miss Woodhouse, he stopped a moment, or Miss Smith could inspire him. The very next day, however, produced some proof of inspiration. He called for a few moments, just to leave a piece of paper on the table containing, as he said, a charade, which a friend of his had addressed to a young lady, the object of his admiration, but which, from his manner, Emma was immediately convinced must be his own. I do not offer it for Miss Smith's collection, said he. Being my friend's, I have no right to expose it in any degree to the public eye, but perhaps you may not dislike looking at it. The speech was more to Emma than to Harriet, which Emma could understand. There was deep consciousness about him, and he found it easier to meet her eye than her friend's. He was gone the next moment, after another moment's pause. Take it, said Emma, smiling and pushing the paper towards Harriet. It is for you. Take your own. But Harriet was in a tremor and could not touch it, and Emma, never loth to be first, was obliged to examine it herself. To miss, charade. My first displays the wealth and pomp of kings, lords of the earth, their luxury and ease. Another view of man my second brings. Behold him there, the monarch of the seas. But united, what reverse we have! Man's boasted power and freedom, all are flown. Lord of the earth and sea, he bends a slave, and woman, lovely woman, reigns alone. Thy ready wit the word will soon supply. May its approval beam in that soft eye. She cast her eye over it, pondered, caught the meaning, read it through again to be quite certain, and quite mistress of the lines, and then passing it to Harriet, sat happily smiling and saying to herself, while Harriet was puzzling over the paper in all the confusion of hope and dullness. Very well, Mr. Elton, very well indeed. I have read worse charades. Courtship, a very good hint. I give you credit for it. This is feeling your way. This is saying very plainly, pray, Miss Smith, give me leave to pay my addresses to you. Approve my charade and my intentions in the same glance. May its approval beam in that soft eye. Harriet, exactly. Soft is the very word for her eye. Of all epithets, the justest that could be given. Thy ready wit the word will soon supply. Humph, Harriet's ready wit. All the better. A man must be very much in love indeed to describe her so. Mr. Knightley, I wish you had the benefit of this. I think this would convince you. For once in your life, you would be obliged to own yourself mistaken. An excellent charade indeed, and very much to the purpose. Things must come to a crisis soon now. She was obliged to break off from these very pleasant observations, which were otherwise of a sort to run into great length, by the eagerness of Harriet's wondering questions. What can it be, Miss Woodhouse? What can it be? I have not an idea. I cannot guess it in the least. What can it possibly be? Do try to find it out, Miss Woodhouse. Do help me. I never saw anything so hard. Is it kingdom? I wonder who the friend was, and who could be the young lady. Do you think it is a good one? Can it be woman? And woman, lovely woman, reigns on. Can it be Neptune? Behold him there, the monarch of the seas. Or a trident, or a mermaid, or a shark. Oh, no, shark is only one syllable. It must be very clever, or he would not have brought it. Oh, Miss Woodhouse, do you think we shall ever find it out? Mermaids and sharks, nonsense. My dear Harriet, what are you thinking of? Where would be the use of his bringing us a charade made by a friend upon a mermaid or a shark? Give me the paper and listen. For Miss, read Miss Smith. For Miss dash or empty space, read Miss Smith. My first displays the wealth and pomp of kings, lords of the earth, their luxury and ease. That is court. Another view of man my second brings. Behold him there, the monarch of the seas. That is ship, plain as it can be. Now for the cream. But united, courtship, you know. What reverse we have. Man's boasted power and freedom, all are flown. Lord of the earth and sea, He bends a slave, and woman, lovely woman, reigns alone. A very proper compliment. And then follows the application, which I think, my dear Harriet, you cannot find much difficulty in comprehending. Read it in comfort to yourself. There can be no doubt of its being written for you and to you. Harriet could not long resist so delightful a persuasion. She read the concluding lines and was all flutter and happiness. She could not speak, but she was not wanted to speak. It was enough for her to feel. Emma spoke for her. There is so pointed and so particular a meaning in this compliment, said she, that I cannot have a doubt as to Mr. Elton's intentions. You are his object, and you will soon receive the completest proof of it. I thought it must be so. I thought I could not be so deceived, but now it is clear. The state of his mind is as clear and decided as my wishes on the subject have been ever since I knew you. Yes, Harriet, just so long have I been wanting the very circumstance to happen that has happened. I could never tell whether an attachment between you and Mr. Elton were most desirable or most natural. Its probability and its eligibility have really so equaled each other. I am very happy. I congratulate you, my dear Harriet, with all my heart. This is an attachment which a woman may well feel pride in creating. This is a connection which offers nothing but good. It will give you everything that you want: consideration, independence, a proper home. It will fix you in the center of all your real friends, close to Hartfield and to me, and confirm our intimacy forever. This, Harriet, is an alliance which can never raise a blush in either of us. Dear Miss Woodhouse, and dear Miss Woodhouse, was all that Harriet, with many tender embraces, could articulate at first. But when they did arrive at something more like conversation, it was sufficiently clear to her friend that she saw, felt, anticipated, and remembered just as she ought. Mr. Elton's superiority had very ample acknowledgment. Whatever you say is always right. Oh, hold on. Whatever you say is always right, cried Harriet, and therefore I suppose and believe and hope it must be so, but otherwise I could not have imagined it. It is so much beyond anything I deserve. Mr. Elton, who might marry anybody. There cannot be two opinions about him. He is so very superior. Only think of those sweet verses. To Miss... Dear me, how clever. Could it really be meant for me? I cannot make a question or listen to a question about that. It is a certainty. Receive it on my judgment. It is a sort of prologue to the play, a motto to the chapter, and will be soon followed by matter-of-fact prose. It is a sort of thing which nobody could have expected. I am sure a month ago I had no more idea myself. The strangest things do take place. When Miss Smiths and Mr. Eltons get acquainted, they do indeed. And really it is strange. It is out of the common course that what is so evidently, so palpably desirable, what courts the pre-arrangement of other people, should so immediately shape itself into the proper form. You and Mr. Elton are by situation called together. You belong to one another by every circumstance of your respective homes. Your marrying will be equal to the match at Randall's. There does seem to be a something in the air of Hartfield which gives love exactly the right direction and sends it into the very channel where it ought to flow. The course of true love never did run smooth. A Hartfield edition of Shakespeare would have a long note on that passage. That Mr. Elton should really be in love with me of all people, who did not know him, to speak to him at Michaelmas. And he, the very handsomest man that ever was, and a man that everybody looks up to, quite like Mr. Knightley. His company so sought after that everybody says he need not eat a single meal by himself if he does not choose it, that he has more invitations than there are days in the week, and so excellent in the church. Miss Nash has put down all the texts he has ever preached from since he came to Highbury. Dear me, when I look back to the first time I saw him, how little did I think the two abbots and I ran into the front room and peeped through the blind when we heard he was going by, and Miss Nash came and scolded us away, and stayed to look through herself. However, she called me back presently and let me look too, which was very good-natured. And how beautiful we thought he looked. He was arm in arm with Mr. Cole. This is an alliance which, whatever your friends may be, must be agreeable to them, provided at least they have common sense, and we are not to be addressing our conduct to fools. If they are anxious to see you happily married, here is a man whose amiable character gives every assurance of it. If they wish to have you settled in the same country and circle which they have chosen to place you in, here it will be accomplished. And if their only object is that you should, in the common phrase, be well married, here is the comfortable fortune, the respectable establishment, the rise in the world which must satisfy them. Yes, very true. How nicely you talk. I love to hear you. You understand everything. You and Mr. Elton are one as clever as the other. This charade, if I had studied a 12-month, I could never have made anything like it. I thought he meant to try his skill by his manner of declining it yesterday. I do think it is, without exception, the best charade I ever read. I never read one more to the purpose, certainly. It is as long again as almost all we have had before. I do not consider its length as particularly in its favor. Such things in general cannot be too short. Harriet was too intent on the lines to hear. The most satisfactory comparisons were rising in her mind. It is one thing, said she presently, her cheeks in a glow, to have very good sense in a common way, like everybody else. And if there is anything to say, to sit down and write a letter, and say just what you must in a short way, and another to write verses and charades like this. Emma could not have desired a more spirited rejection of Mr. Martin's prose. Such sweet lines, continued Harriet, these two last. But how shall I ever be able to return the paper, or say I have found it out? Oh, Miss Woodhouse, what can we do about that? Leave it to me. You do nothing. He will be here this evening, I dare say, and then I will give it him back, and some nonsense or other will pass between us, and you shall not be committed. Your soft eyes shall choose their own time for beaming. Trust to me. Oh, Miss Woodhouse, what a pity that I must not write this beautiful charade into my book. I am sure I have not got one half so good. Leave out the two last lines, and there is no reason why you should not write it into your book. Oh, but those two lines are the best of all. Granted, for private enjoyment, and for private enjoyment, keep them. They are not at all the less written, because you divide them. The couplet does not cease to be, nor does its meaning change. But take it away, and all appropriation ceases, and a very pretty gallant charade remains, fit for any collection. Depend upon it, he would not like to have his charade slighted, much better than his passion. A poet in love must be encouraged in both capacities, or neither. Give me the book, I will write it down, and then there can be no possible reflection on you. Harriet submitted, though her mind could hardly separate the parts, so as to feel quite sure that her friend were not writing down a declaration of love. It seemed too precious an offering for any degree of publicity. I shall never let that book go out of my own hands, said she. Very well, replied Emma, a most natural feeling, and the longer it lasts, the better I shall be pleased. But here is my father coming. You will not object to my reading the charade to him? It will be giving him so much pleasure. He loves anything of the sort, and especially anything that pays woman a compliment. He has the tenderest spirit of gallantry towards us all. You must let me read it to him. Harriet looked grave. My dear Harriet, you must not refine too much upon this charade. You will betray your feelings improperly if you are too conscious and too quick, and appear to affix more meaning, or even quite all the meaning which may be affixed to it. Do not be overpowered by such a little tribute of admiration. If he had been anxious for secrecy, he would not have left the paper while I was by, but he rather pushed it towards me than towards you. Do not let us be too solemn on the business. He has encouragement enough to proceed, without our sighing out our souls over this charade. Oh, no, I hope I shall not be ridiculous about that. Do as you please. Mr. Woodhouse came in, and very soon led to the subject again by the recurrence of his very frequent inquiry of, "Well, my dears, how does your book go on? Have you got anything fresh?" "Yes, Papa, we have something to read you, something quite fresh. A piece of paper was found on the table this morning, dropped, we suppose, by a fairy, containing a very pretty charade, and we have just copied it in." She read it to him, just as he liked to have anything read, slowly and distinctly, and 2 or 3 times over, with explanations of every part as she proceeded, and he was very much pleased, and, as she had foreseen, especially struck with the complimentary conclusion. "Aye, that's very just indeed. That's very properly said. Very true. Woman, lovely woman, it is such a pretty charade, my dear, that I can easily guess what fairy brought it. Nobody could have written so prettily but you, Emma." Emma only nodded and smiled. After a little thinking and a very tender sigh, he added, "It is no difficulty to see who you take after. Your dear mother was so clever at all those things. If I had but her memory. But I can remember nothing, not even that particular riddle which you have heard me mention. I can only recollect the first stanza, and there are several. Kitty, a fair but frozen maid, kindled a flame I yet deplore. The hoodwinked boy I called to aid, though of his near approach afraid, so fatal to my suit before." And that is all that I can recollect of it, but it is very clever all the way through. But I think, my dear, you said you had got it. "Yes, Papa, It is written out in our second page. We copied it from the elegant extracts. It was Garrick's, you know. Ay, very true. I wish I could recollect more of it. Kitty, a fair but frozen maid. The name makes me think of poor Isabella, for she was very near being christened Catherine after her grandmamma. I hope we shall have her here next week. Have you thought, my dear, where you shall put her, and what room there will be for the children? Oh, yes, she will have her own room, of course, the room she always has, and there is the nursery for the children, just as usual, you know. Why should there be any change? I do not know, my dear, but it is so long since she was here. Not since last Easter, and then only for a few days. Mr. John Knightley's being a lawyer is very inconvenient. Poor Isabella. She is sadly taken away from us all, and how sorry she will be when she comes not to see Miss Taylor here. She will not be surprised, papa, at least. I do not know, my dear. I am sure I was very much surprised when I first heard she was going to be married. We must ask Mr. and Mrs. Weston to dine with us while Isabella is here. Yes, my dear, if there is time, but, in a very depressed tone, she is coming for only 1 week. There will not be time for anything. It is unfortunate that they cannot stay longer, but it seems a case of necessity. Mr. John Knightley must be in town again on the 28th, and we ought to be thankful, papa, that we are to have the whole of the time they can give to the country, that 2 or 3 days are not to be taken out for the Abbey. Mr. Knightley promises to give up his claim this Christmas, though you know it is longer since they were with him than with us. It would be very hard indeed, my dear, if poor Isabella were to be anywhere but at Hartfield. Mr. Woodhouse would never allow for Mr. Knightley's claims on his brother, or anybody's claims on Isabella except his own. He sat musing a little while, and then said, "But I do not see why poor Isabella should be obliged to go back so soon, though he does. I think, Emma, I shall try and persuade her to stay longer with us. She and the children might stay very well." "Ah, papa, that is what you never have been able to accomplish, and I do not think you ever will. Isabella cannot bear to stay behind her husband." This was too true for contradiction. Unwelcome as it was, Mr. Woodhouse could only give a submissive sigh, and as Emma saw his spirits affected by the idea of his daughter's attachment to her husband, she immediately led to such a branch of the subject as must raise them. "Harriet must give us as much of her company as she can while my brother and sister are here. I am sure she will be pleased with the children. We are very proud of the children, are we not, papa? I wonder which she will think the handsomest, Henry or John. I wonder which she will. Poor little dears, how glad they will be to come. They are very fond of being at Hartfield, Harriet." "I dare say they are, sir. I am sure I do not know who is not."
"Henry is a fine boy, but John is very like his mamma. Henry is the eldest. He was named after me, not after his father. John the second is named after his father. Some people are surprised, I believe, that the eldest was not, but Isabella would have called him Henry, which I thought very pretty of her. And he is a very clever boy indeed. They are all remarkably clever, and they have so many pretty ways. They will come and stand by my chair and say, 'Grandpapa, can you give me a bit of string?' And once Henry asked me for a knife, but I told him knives were only made for grandpapas. I think their father is too rough with them very often."
"He appears rough to you," said Emma, "because you are so very gentle yourself.
But if you could compare him with other papas, you would not think him rough. He wishes his boys to be active and handy and hardy, and if they misbehave, can give them a sharp word now and then. But he is an affectionate father. Certainly, Mr. John Knightley is an affectionate father. Their children are all fond of him. And then their uncle comes in and tosses them up to the ceiling in a very frightful way. But they like it, Papa. There is nothing they like so much. It is such enjoyment to them that if their uncle did not lay down the rule of their taking turns, whichever began would never give way to the other. Well, I cannot understand it. That is the case with us all, Papa. One half of the world cannot understand the pleasures of the other. Later in the morning, and just as the girls were going to separate in preparation for the regular 4 o'clock dinner, the hero of this inimitable charade walked in again. Harriet turned away, but Emma could receive him with the usual smile, and her quick eye soon discerned in his the consciousness of having made a push, of having thrown a die, and she imagined he was come to see how it might turn out. His ostensible reason, however, was to ask whether Mr. Woodhouse's party could be made up in the evening without him, or whether he should be in the smallest degree necessary at Hartfield. If he were, everything else must give way. But otherwise, his friend Cole had been saying so much about his dining with him, had made such a point of it, that he had promised him conditionally to come. Emma thanked him, but could not allow of his disappointing his friend on their account. Her father was sure of his rubber. He re-urged, she re-declined, and he seemed then about to make his bow, when taking the paper from the table, she returned it. "Oh, here is the charade you were so obliging as to leave with us. Take it amiss, I hope. Of course, I have not transcribed beyond the first 8 lines." Mr. Elton certainly did not very well know what to say. He looked rather doubtingly, rather confused, said something about honor, glanced at Emma and at Harriet, and then, seeing the book open on the table, took it up and examined it very attentively. With the view of passing off an awkward moment, Emma smilingly said, "You must make my apologies to your friend, but so good a charade must not be confined to 1 or 2. He may be sure of every woman's approbation while he writes with such gallantry." "I have no hesitation in saying," replied Mr. Elton, though hesitating a good deal while he spoke, "I have no hesitation in saying, at least if my friend feels at all as I do, I have not the smallest doubt that, could he see his little effusion honoured as I see it," looking at the book again and replacing it on the table, "he would consider it as the proudest moment of his life." After this speech, he was gone as soon as possible. Emma could not think it too soon, for with all his good and agreeable qualities, there was a sort of parade in his speeches which was very apt to incline her to laugh. She ran away to indulge the inclination, leaving the tender and the sublime of pleasure to Harriet's share. And that was chapter 9. We will have to end here today because it's already 11:14. Jane Austen does not give us even chapters, so some nights we'll get through 2 or even 3. Oh, you were gone, Cat. Okay, I have a hypothesis. Anybody want to hear my hypothesis? Y'all want to hear? This is just a conspiracy theory about Mr. Elton. Okay, maybe 2. You know how Mr. Woodhouse, Emma's dad, just said that maybe Emma was the one who wrote the charade. Maybe she did, and he's given it to Mr. Elton. Or Mr. Elton wrote it for Emma, because remember Knightley saying that Elton wants to marry for money? So Elton is hanging around but pretending to like Harriet, but he wants to make moves on Emma because Emma's dad has money, so Emma has the dowry. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Tell me. Hit me with your best stuff. What do you think? Because it's very, very... Maria, am I onto it? Goodness. You know what this reminds me of? Yeah, Stella, you were thinking that. Yes. My God, I need water. Dastardly. That's just, oh my God. That's, it's he. No. I was going to call him a Wickham, but I don't think he's a Wickham. Blue. Oh, Edie. Oh, jeez. Wow. That's dastardly. That's just, oh. That's just dastardly. Oh my God, there are 20 people in here. Hi, friends. How are you all doing? My friends on TikTok. 20 people. Thank you for being here. If you haven't followed me yet, what you waiting for? Come on, you know you like this vibe. Please follow me. We'll like the live and share. And on IG and on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, I don't have that open. Listen, this is... Oh, Elton did not want to go to that party at all, is what I know. 100% introvert energy. You know what? I don't think it's introvert energy. I think he's trying to get an in with Mr. Woodhouse as well. So that's what he was trying to do. But, oh, crafty. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I enjoy doing this. I wish I could read to y'all all night long, too. It's just we have to... think about how that would make me money, and then I don't have to go job hunting. I could just read to all y'all. No, Kat, I think he wanted to stay so he could keep ingratiating himself with Mr. Woodhouse. But the thing is, what he doesn't realize is that Emma runs the house, so whatever he does with Mr. Woodhouse is not gonna mean anything. It's not. He is. I was not expecting that. He is super sneaky. What? That just... Oh my gosh. I was about to say, is he like Wickham? Or, no, not Wickham. Charlotte. Was Charlotte the name of the friend in Pride and Prejudice? Remember when Elizabeth Bennet rejected the cousin? What's his name again? The one who was the vicar? What was his name? When Elizabeth rejected him, and we need to go get the insults from that book too. But when she rejected him, remember how Charlotte swooped in and was comforting him? Collins, oh my God, yes, Collins, thank you, yes. Exemplary vegetables. Collins. Let me tell you all that reading Collins and Lady Catherine de Bourgh was pure torture. When I had to read them live, they did not... Jane wrote them, and I like calling her Jane like she's my bestie, right? Miss Jane Austen. Jane wrote them like they spoke without breathing. Long paragraphs. Oh my gosh. My breath was just... Okay, so I'm sensing the theme. Yeah, like he's like Charlotte, just trying to sneak in there. Ay. I knew it. Hey, Two Things, how you doing? Oh, my darlings. Well, today is Wednesday. Well, it's Thursday for some of y'all, because it's almost Thursday here. You know what happens tomorrow? You want to know? You want to know what happens tomorrow? Well, don't mind if I tell you. Tomorrow is Nisi After Dark. If you have not been here for that unhinged pageantry, make sure you're here. When we finish reading our chapter, please make sure that you're not drinking or eating anything when we start that section of the live, because if you start laughing and you choke, it's not my fault. Please don't choke. I want you to come back. I want you to come back and hang out with us. So come back tomorrow. Yeah, Kat, it is unhinged and ridiculous. So when you're coming, come prepared with a food item. Yeah, Nisi After Dark. It's wonderful, crafty. You're gonna love it, I think. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna leave. What was the tagline we said yesterday? You leave hungry, horny, and confused. Or was it hungry and confused? Whichever. We're gonna work on that tagline. But come with a food item that you would like us to write a story about, and we'll throw it in there. And so it's gonna be fun, I think. Some of you have been talking about me doing ASMR, so I think I might do that. I'll see if I can throw in a live on some days where you come in and you give me hopefully an affirmation or something, and I'll just read it to you ASMR style and see how it goes. Yeah, we can try it now. Like Kat just typed, the exemplary vegetables man. Does that work for you? Does that work for you? Does it? Oh yeah. Why do I always want to say oh yeah like some lecherous old man? Oh gosh, thank you for the follow, Jessie. Yes. Oh, see, TikTok said say something nice. Say something nice because you also deserve something nice. Maria says, "Oh my, you know the madness that's here. You were expecting this." Hi, Jace. I used to work with a very cool guy called Jace. He's a very, very lovely dude. And tan. Okay. Nisi After Dark fanfic edition. Oh my. Hit me. I'm ready. Let's try it. Let's try it. I see Edie here. I think I saw Donna pop in. Listen, friends, we have some people who have been here with me since I started reading on my knitting account before I opened this account. And now I'm at 3,000 followers here on TikTok, which is mind-blowing to me. But even more mind-blowing, hey Ash, is those of you who keep coming back every night, Monday through Thursday, to hang out with me and read a book, gab away. Oh, the whispers creep you out. I wonder what the level. Oh, yes. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, thank you, Edie. I hit 3,000. I hit 3,000 right before the end of the year. I was actually quite impressed, the moment, to be honest, the moment I hit 1,000, I was like, cool. I stopped trying to do post, what they call them, post where you're trying to grow a community, because I was like, okay, now I can go live and read to the people who want me to read to them. But it is nice to get more people, because I think the more followers you have, the more exposure you potentially get, because your followers will see your video, will share with other people, and you get more exposure. So that's nice. And I was talking to my husband today, because yesterday he shared a website with me called The Natural Speaker. But it's an AI. It's a website where you can go in and record your own voice, and it will train an AI to speak like you and read books to you and all that. And it sounds good in theory. It made me sad. I think it's good for accessibility reasons, of course, and it does like multiple languages, but it's not just like the regular boring AI voice you hear. Somehow they've been able to train it to also try and emote a little bit. And so my husband was like, you could let the AI read the story beforehand to you, and then you can just listen to how the AI does it and then do it. And I'm like, but it's not the same. It's absolutely not the same. I feel like, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, right? The beauty of this live reading, one, is that I actually haven't read the book. So whatever nonsense is coming up, we are experiencing it together. And the voices and the emotions and the way I emote certain words or sentences or the way I portray them, I haven't planned them. So if I'm having an off day, if you come, yeah, well, I mean, I think it's useful for what it does, like throwing ideas. And I'm like, because today, for instance, I wanted to write a LinkedIn post about how today is a 1 year anniversary since I lost my job. And so I had a rough draft and I was like, okay, hey, I want to write this and here's the draft I have. What am I missing? Because what the AI tool does is it looks at other posts that people have done and looks at the common trends and then recommends, hey, you can improve yours by doing it this way. Would you like me to write a draft for you? I'm like, cool. And it did. And so it basically does all that research that you would have done for you. Hey, my spot, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning, Melanie. Yeah, so the job that lost me. I know. I work in customer support operations, so I manage a team and tools and all that, and I enjoy customer support. It's really fun because I feel like when a customer writes to you, that interaction is so helpful because the customer is not coming to you usually to be an expert at your tool. They're coming to you because they want to use your tool to achieve a goal. And so when customer support agents and the customer support team are good at what they do, they help that customer get to a win very quickly. And that interaction will endear the customer to your company. So I enjoy my work, training my team members and giving them autonomy. One of my favorite things to do, if you come to me with an idea or a problem that you think should be solved, I'll be like, that's wonderful. You lead it. How can I support you? And that way it doesn't become just one person handling the problem. I'm not the bottleneck. But also it gives them the chance to flex their muscles and develop new skills, form connections with other members of the team because support has to work with product and engineering, design and marketing and all that good stuff. Anyway, I keep going and going. Anyway, so I feel like AI is wonderful that, like, for instance, I said that I wanted to come up with this idea for the literary. What did we decide we like? Was it literary snack? What did we agree on? I don't remember. Literary shade. Literary shade. Yeah. It just looked at all the videos and stuff that I've done well and came up with an idea for me. And that, I think it's useful for those. But again, maybe my mind is, I am limiting my imagination. I can see why those who pay for voice actors and narrators would be like, oh, let's use AI and this will be simpler. And I'm sure that the audiobook and voiceover narration community is going to have to figure out how to work with AI. Right. Um, but I don't know. I don't have an answer. It's a little terrifying, a little scary actually, to be trying to get into this industry when AI has taken up, like, not taking over, but it has quite this upsurge. Anyway, oh my gosh, hey, all you lovely 22 people in here. Ask me anything. You have 1 minute and then we'll get to go to bed because I'm really bad at going to bed early. In fact, last night after we finished, I went and inhaled some of that pasta salad I was telling you about. And after we're done tonight, I'm gonna go inhale some of that pasta salad I was talking about. So, you know how I roll. You know it, you know it. So should we do literary shade? I don't know. Well, I hope I do that. I do justice to that short, but I think it'll be fun. Um, oh wait, Nana Jen is live, so she wasn't here. I was wondering. I was like, I'm missing somebody. Nana Jen and Tracy. Tracy didn't make it today either, did she? Yeah. Hey Rosie. Hey Liz.
goodbye. So long, farewell. Da, 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 da. Adieu, adieu to you and you and you. Da, 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 da. Boom. I'm gonna go to bed now. Thank you, Kat. Thank you. Literary shade. Hey, Strawberry Kisses. Dastardly Master. Oh, thank you. Heather! Heather is here. Are you about to go to bed, Heather? Heather, you're up late. Good night. I want to sing a song for y'all, but I can't think of any song off the top of my head, you know. But come back tomorrow. Let's see more of Emma's shenanigans and Mr. Elton, who might. Maria, I'm gonna ask you. Is Heather, I need to go on your account and buy the electric winder. If I'm gonna go broke, I might as well go hard, right? Maria, does Elton become like Wickham? Just whisper in my ear. Stella says you like. Okay, Stella, you say you don't like the whisper, but if I go like this, is this better? Hey, Stella, how you doing? Are you having a good evening? I hope you're enjoying the story. Is that the level that you like? The mini electric that you showed me. Okay. And you said it can take up to 10 ounces. Maria, you did that to me last time. Or was it Anna Jen? Both of you. Tell me. Please. Okay. Don't tell me, but can you give us a hint? Am I like getting warmer or colder? Hey, Wounded Healer, welcome. Okay, that's not as creepy. All right. Thank you. Tracy, were you here the whole time? I was just saying, where's Tracy? Where are you? Anyway, I am so glad. I think I'm getting this. You know what happens, Carlos? Okay, Carlos, can you give me a hint? Is Elton like Wickham? I don't know if you were here. You just woke up. And we are about to go. Oh, Tracy. Okay, I'm on the right track, but he's not a slime ball. Okay, great. I kind of want to just go back and read Wickham's sections because he was quite the slime ball. Like, quite the slime ball. Anyway, my loves. I'm gonna go. You found me on YouTube again. You are the only one. Thank you. You're the only one. I don't even know how to find myself on YouTube. Hold on. Let me go on YouTube and see if I can find myself. Oh, it says I'm live. I found myself. Hey, Renee. Oh, hi. The people here. Thank you for joining. Oh, I feel so bad. There were people here. Oh, rude. It was so rude. It's so rude. I need to update my... You can't... Oh, Willoughby when we read Sense and Sensibility. Oh, he's a climber. Carlos. Oh, these people. Dang. Jane Austen out here making me catch feelings at this time of the night. How many years since she passed on? Hey, Carol, welcome. You were commenting. Oh no, Tracy. Oh, I missed it. I didn't know how to do nothing. Now I do. Oh, Tracy, you go so deep. I love it.
You'll make me too happy. Thank you. Oh, so lovely. So lovely. I love it. One of these days I will figure it all out. I just felt like I kept talking myself out of starting the multi-streaming and I just was not doing it. So I literally had to just like pull the plug and do it. So here we are. I know, I'm, I have I wish I could show you my setup. I have the Streamlabs desktop here and I'm gonna have to get a camera. I think I'm gonna get a webcam and put it on the monitor because if I can do that, they are side by side, but because of how I set up my desk, I can't have them facing me. So what I want to do is get a webcam and put it on top of the monitor. Oh no, no, no. Oh no. Donna. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh no, are you down in LA area? I know we have a raging fire down south in California right now. I didn't realize it, but I know 3 people who live in that area. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so glad you made it. So Tracy, I think I'm gonna get a webcam and put on top of the monitor so that yes, do you have somewhere you can go? I'm gonna put it on top of the monitor so that I can have all the 4 videos facing the same place and I will have the Kindle also facing me, so I will be facing this side, the where my mirror is instead of this side. But yeah, alrighty, my lovelies. Oh, I have a request for all y'all. I know we've been doing the readings and the books, and I love it. I want to keep it up. Let me know if you want me to do different sort of lives. I've heard of the ASMR one. I used to do some meditation recordings, and I want to do a few more, but also maybe come on and read meditation to people if they would want that. And so those are all the only ones I can think of right now, but let me know. Let me know. Hey, Dual. I was looking for you the other time. Oh, Tracy said no SMR. You missed it. I'm doing ASMR like this because the whisper one is too creepy apparently. No ASMR. I hear you. I do want to do some kind of meditation and like not formal meditation. I think I like the affirmations kind of feeling. Meditate. Yeah, I don't really know. I listen to Peloton meditations and they are trained and all, but I think everybody keeps saying I have a soothing voice. And I'm like, okay, how can I unleash that power for good? Oh, cooking videos. You want me to just keep eating? Sorry, when you said cooking, I heard eating because I will eat what I cook. I should do some more cooking videos. I have quite a few recorded, but yeah, I'm happy to do cooking videos. I'm happy to do those, but I feel like they don't seem to won't they take away from the book focus? Or maybe we find recipes from the books. Idea. Tracy sent me a beautiful box over Christmas. It has a book and it has so many little cute things. I opened it at the post office and immediately, Tracy is trained in hypnosis. Crafty, professional foodie. Tell me more. I love foodies. I love, I love, I love, I love, I love. Oh, yeah. My favorite thing to do whenever I travel to a different country is to sign up for a walking food tour, or if they don't have a walking one, a a food tour because I want to know what people who live there eat. And I want to enjoy all of it without me struggling to figure out where to go. So the food tour will give me like locations where the food is good, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. No, I haven't. Yes, crafty. That's what I do. Honestly, it's my favorite. Let me tell you how in 2023 we were in Amsterdam for a work conference, and I organized a food tour for the managers. The managers were staying for a second day. We were gonna have a summit, and I tested positive for COVID the night before, so they all got to go on the food tour that I had organized. I was so pissed off. So pissed off. Oh my gosh. I was so upset. So I told my manager that she better take photos for me, and she did. She got some really gorgeous photos. I was so mad. I was so mad. The silver lining on that was that the hotel we stayed at was gorgeous. It was a really lovely hotel. And so being quarantined inside the room there was not a hardship. I think I like did some laundry by hand. I had ordered orange juice and stuff. And so I was just in bed. I would take a lot of medication. I was worried about COVID when we were going to go. So I actually packed some Allegra, some Flonase, and I had a lot of Advil. So the moment I tested, and I took a test. Did I take a test along? I took one test along, and I was able to go buy another test, a pack of 4 from a pharmacy. Oh yeah, I was eating like, what do you call them, the cough drops. I would take my medicine, I'd feel better, I'd sleep, I'll wake up, I'll feel better, and I'll just binge watch some show on Netflix, and then I'd feel worse. I'd take my medicine, drink orange juice, go back to sleep. I ordered food. I think I ordered some pizza online, and I called the front desk. They knew I was sick. Hey, Rosie. The front desk, they were so lovely. They I'd spoken to them earlier in the first day, and so when they found out that I was the one that was sick, they brought my food up to me. Like they took it from the, not DoorDash, whoever their delivery system was. It was really lovely. It was a lovely hotel to be sick in, for sure. One day I'll go back and thank them. And they were teaching me. I was telling them when I was watching Ted Lasso, and there was a word, I think it's similar to hugely, to the Danish hugely, and they were teaching me how to say it. It said gezellig, but that's not how it is said. It said gezellig. I did, crafty. I did, with the food. Anyway, yeah, I need to go check out your channel to see what foods you have on there. Alrighty, my darlings. I said I'd be done almost 15 minutes ago. And yet, here we are. Because Denise is crazy. But I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Donna, please let us know. No, not Hughley. Hughley. This is how it's spelled. They had it became a really big thing a few years ago where everybody was like, we want to have something that's Huga. We want something that's Huga. Huga is spelled Hyggge, but then the feeling is Hughley, Hyggelig. I know, if you keep talking, you know I'll keep talking. You know I'll keep talking. Let's keep talking. Oh, talk. Yeah. Y'all go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be a much longer live. What am I kidding? It's gonna be about this length since I've been yapping away. But we'll have Nisi After Dark. Have a good night. Thank you all so much. Sleep well. Bye. Oh, and have a lovely day.